What if I told you that one of the fastest growing productivity platforms in the world was built by just 4 people working in a small apartment with no funding, no flashy resume, and zero backing from Silicon Valley? While Microsoft was burning millions to promote its note-taking apps, and Google was surfing features into every tool, a tiny startup called Notion was quietly building a platform that people actually loved. Not by being the smartest team, not by hiring the most people, but by lesser focus, simplicity, beauty, and purpose. Today, Notion is worth over $10 billion, used by millions of people worldwide, and it's still going head to head with tech giants. So, how did Notion do it? And what can it teach you about the power of focus, vision, and building something that actually wins even if you are the underdog? Let's break it down.
Chapter 1. The Notion Origin Story. From struggle to strategy. The story of Notion doesn't start in a flashy Silicon Valley office. It starts in a cramped San Francisco apartment with Ivan Zhao, a quiet, design-obsessed product thinker, and a tiny team struggling to bring a bold idea to life. Ivan didn't want to build just another productivity app. He wanted to build a tool that felt like Lego for your thoughts, something beautiful, flexible, and personal. A tool that gave users control instead of boxing them into rigid features. But building something that different wasn't easy. By 2015, Notion was nearly out of cash. Investors weren't interested. The market already had giants like Microsoft OneNote, Google Docs, Evernote. Everyone said it was too late. And here's the kicker. Notion didn't even work that well at the time. It was clunky, slow, buggy. At one point, Ivan and his co-founder tore the entire product down and rebuilt it from scratch. They isolated themselves, studied old-school software like HyperCard, and focused entirely on the user experience. No ads, no PR, no noisy launches, just pure focus. And that's where the shift happened. Instead of chasing investors or trends, they committed to building something that people truly loved. They asked, what would it look like if productivity software felt less like work and more like play? This focus turned into Notion's superpower. While tech giants were bloated with features, Notion was clean, modular, and user-centered. It let people build their own systems, to-do lists, journals, CRMS, wikis, all in one place. And in 2018, that focus finally paid off. A new version launched, and it exploded. Suddenly, word of mouth took over. No ads needed. Just creators, startups, students, and teams falling in love with the tool. From nearly shutting down, to millions of users, to a $10 billion valuation, Notion didn't grow by being loud. It grew by being focused. And that's the first major lesson. You don't need to be everywhere, to be intentional about what you're building and who you're building it for. Because when you stop trying to please everyone, you create something unforgettable for the right people. Chapter 2. The Mindset of Focus over Talent. What most creators get wrong. When people hear Notion's success story, they often say, they must have had an insanely talented team. Or, they probably had the best developers, designers, or secret tech connections. But here's the truth. Notion didn't win because they had the most talent. They won because they had the most focus. In fact, Notion's team was tiny for years, just 4 people. Meanwhile, Microsoft had thousands of employees working on productivity tools. Google had world-class engineers on Docs, Keep, Calendar, and Drive. But those teams lacked one thing: clarity. While the big tech companies were adding more features, integrations, and complexity, Notion focused on one question: how do we build a tool that feels powerful but never overwhelming? And that's the mindset shift most creators miss. We think we need to be more talented, more skilled, more ready. But the people who win in business, content, and creativity aren't the ones who have the most skills. They're the ones who know how to focus deeply on a real problem and stick with it. Ivan Zhao once said, "We're not in the business of productivity, we're in the business of making software feel human." That single sentence shows you everything. Most people are trying to do more. Notion succeeded by doing less, but better. So, if you're building something, anything, a brand, a side hustle, a YouTube channel, don't waste energy trying to be the most talented. Focus on being the most clear, consistent, and committed. Because in a noisy world, clarity beats complexity, and focus beats talent. Every single time. Chapter 3, Creator Economy, Lessons from Notion's Playbook. So, what can creators like you and me actually learn from Notion's rise? Because while they're building productivity tools, we're building content, communities, and income streams. But the principles are the same. Here are 3 creator economy lessons straight from Notion's playbook that you can use to grow your brand, side hustle, or creative business. 1. Clarity greater than complexity. Notion succeeded because it didn't try to be everything to everyone. It was clear, we're here to give you tools you can shape your own way. In the creator space, it's tempting to copy trends, chase everything at once, and overdo content. But the truth is, clarity wins. Pick a lane. Be known for one thing, then build out from there. When people know what to expect from you, they trust you faster and share your work more often. 2. Build with your community, not just for them. Notion didn't grow because of ads. It grew because of its fans. They listened to users. They featured creators. They empowered people to build and share templates, wikis, and workflows. In your journey, stop thinking of your audience as just viewers. Think of them as co-creators. Ask them questions. Invite feedback. Turn your audience into collaborators. That's how you build loyalty, not just followers. 3. Stay small, move smart. For years, Notion operated with a tiny team and minimal funding. They didn't throw money at problems. They solved them with design, purpose, and patience. In the creator economy, lean beats loud. You don't need a full studio to start a YouTube channel. You don't need to hire a team to launch a course. You just need to start small and stay smart. Because people don't care how big you are. They care how much value you deliver. The takeaway? You don't have to be big to make an impact. You don't need 10 skills, you need the right strategy. You don't have to wait until you're ready, you just have to be focused. That's how Notion won, and that's exactly how you can win too.
So, here's the bottom line. Notion didn't win because it was bigger, louder, or richer than its competitors. It won because it was clear, focused, and obsessed with doing one thing well, creating tools people love to use. And in a world filled with distractions, fast trends, and shiny objects, focus is the ultimate superpower. You don't need a fancy background, you don't need a huge following, you just need to start and keep showing up with intention. Whether you're a creator, a side hustler, or building something on your own, let Notion be your reminder. You don't have to out-talent everyone. You just have to out-focus them. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one area of your life or business you are going to focus on this month? Drop it in the comments. Let's build some accountability together. If you found this story valuable, hit that button to help the algorithm do its thing. Subscribe if you want more stories like this about mindset and money strategies behind modern success. And remember, you don't need permission, you need focus. Remember to download my free ebook and journal in the description, and I will see you in the next video.